Saw maybe more women than ever at this match, especially compared to last year. And today we're going to be talking about the growth of women in trucking with Elizabeth Simpkins, National Underwriting Officer for Inland Maritime Specialized Risk over at Travelers. Had to take a breath before that one. Elizabeth, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
It's really good to see you, man. We've had you on the guest before on the show. Tell people a little bit about your role and what you do over at Travelers.
Yeah, so I'm an underwriting officer for Inland Marine and Specialized Risk, and then we have a transportation practice within the Inland Marine Group, helping our underwriters find good clients, keep good business, and educate everyone on what we do here.
And what are your thoughts on the rise of women in trucking in the cab, but also in leadership roles within the office on both the white and the blue collar side?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I did a little homework just to see how far we've come, right? So past 10 to 20 years. And I think we're making good movement. What we found, looking at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, women made up 1.9% of the total workforce of all transportation and material moving occupations in 2004. So that's kind of where we start. 10 years later, 2014, that percentage rose to 15%. And within that group, we started to see women driving specifically being measured, and that was 5.8% at that time. If we go to another 10-year picture in 2024, women are now 21.7% of all of those transportation and material moving occupations, and driver roles specifically held by women are 7.9%. So I think a really good jump forward over time.
They never really they always come up with weird names to categorize us, but I'm imagining total transportation and material moving occupations includes freight and trucking, right?
Trucking and freight, you got it.
Okay, so when we're hearing about this growth, though, what's fueling it? Why are more women deciding this is an occupation that they would like to come into?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things happening. People and organizations are really coming at this from all angles. You might be surprised at how intentional it really is, even for the very young. So one example that's initiative specific to women in trucking is called Trucks Are for Girls, and it's a program sponsored by the Girl Scouts. Teaches girls about careers in the trucking industry by giving them access to driving simulators to show them how to actually operate a truck. They can hear from engineers kind of talking about their day-to-day jobs in the field. And it gives them the hands-on experience so they can see these tractors, this equipment, what is this? Another driver of this trend is education of folks getting ready to enter the workforce. So that's supply chain management as a career path. And I should mention that's not just for women, of course, it's a growing field for everybody.
Yeah, what impact are you seeing from that? I cover that a lot. I have the University of Arkansas. You can see their sign if they go wide, always hangs out on here. I'm a marketing advisor over at University of Tennessee. Thomas Deakins also has an amazing program over there, and you're seeing more and more schools every year stand them up. In fact, I even at Patterson High School, Next Generation Trucking Academy, on my show as well from Matt's, and they have all these young students that are learning. When we talk specifically more about the university level, what impact is that having?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's available now more than it's ever been. So what we did, we looked at Data USA, a source of US government data, and back in 2012, there were only 70 public universities that were offering a 4-year degree in supply chain management. Just 10 years later, 2022, that number rose to 159. And some public universities, community colleges, and the like are also doing the 2-year degrees. So you've got a lot of different options there. On top of that, you've got training for Class A CDLs as an opportunity at some colleges. The number of grants and scholarships that are available are just making it that much more accessible. And women, especially who want to plan their future instead of just falling into logistics or trucking, it's really becoming a trend. Even beyond college education, some of the other resources that are actively promoting women's involvement in the field are Women in Trucking. We talked about that the last time I was here. Mm-hmm. But also the ATA is doing some work by starting a Women in Motion mentoring program. They started that in 2023. So they do recruitment and retention conferences, symposiums. They do a Women in Motion call on Washington that they can actually network and advocate at the policymaker level. And they really just want to have this inclusive environment where leaders are inspiring and guiding that next generation of women leaders. So you really just have more general awareness, I think, of openings in the field, encouraging women at all stages of their careers, and really helping them get in deep to some of the challenges that face the industry and
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
help these
say.
women become thought leaders.
Well, I was gonna say that all sounds good, but are we painting too rosy of a picture? What are some of the challenges that still stand in the way?
You're right. There definitely are some challenges. Truck stop safety's been one for a while, continues to be one. Women who might feel vulnerable at truck stops because they're poorly lit, they don't have proper security, secure parking, that kind of thing, that can make anybody feel unsafe. There's also restroom and shower access, lack of female focused amenities that really bother women. So the Women in Motion has actually worked with Trucker Path in that regard, and that's just one of the initiatives. But what they're doing is over 100 truck stops and counting have joined this effort to address these concerns. And they've got features they've added to the Trucker Path mobile app to identify, locate facilities with specific safety amenities. And they're ranked highly by women who are on the road. And just keep in mind, if you're interested in the trucking industry and you're a woman, you don't have to be a driver. It's not always the seat, behind the wheel. There's a lot of paths that are open to women, and it's very empowering now to see there's so many companies that are making these focused efforts to recruit and retain women. And I think it's on everybody really to put their hand out and help pull up that next person.
Hell yeah. Well, that's great news, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody come and check out travelers.com and hey, go support a woman in trucking. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take it easy.